Okay, so I've been over to the, well, down into town to the shops to get my spray for doing this. I've been shaking it all the way back into the shop to the car park, and then since I've been back I've been shaking it, so it should be ready now to give this a bit of a primer spray. Right, I'm just going to leave it at that for now, let that dry off, and then I'll put another coat of primer on before I put any black on. Right, I think I'm only going to give it one coat of black tonight because the light's dropping and it's getting a bit cooler, so it's probably not the best time to be spraying it, but I am keen to get one coat on it. Right, I think that'll do before I go over the top and make it run everywhere. Right, we'll do a bit more on that tomorrow. Oh, so I've been doing some rewiring here, so I've had to sort of cut all the wires and then attach them, because the hole at the back of the light was so tiny I couldn't get this plug to plug in the back of the light, which luckily was the same fitting, so I had to cut all the wires, rejoin them with obviously electrician's tape, and then now this one, the bulb is or the bulb socket is too big to go through that hole, so I'm having to do the same here, pull the wires through. I've you know, cut back the plastic off the wire, I don't even know what you call it. I'm gonna, I don't think they might hold, bollocks. And then I've got to just rejoin these two. That ain't gonna work, is it? My peg idea is not going to work. What I might do is just put some tape on it, because it's just gonna keep falling off. I'm a bit short of electrical tape. I've just ordered some more off Amazon, which was pretty cheap. It was £1.89 for a 20-metre roll, which I thought on Amazon that was pretty good. Right, if I just tape that on there, then it won't keep falling off. And then attach this. I didn't give myself much blinking space, much length to play with, but hopefully, actually let me get my tape, my little bits cut ready. I'll tell you what, let's see it works before I start pulling it through. Hopefully I've still got some battery on my bike. I left it on by mistake I left the key in the ignition turned on the other day, so I might not have much battery left. Right, say a prayer. No, it doesn't look like I've got any frigging ignition. I think my battery's flat. Great. So have I got a flat battery, or... I mean, I've had all these unplugged, so that probably doesn't help. Might have blown a fuse, anything could have happened. And to be fair, I've had it all apart. I've stripped wires, so it would be a bloody miracle if it worked. Worked the other day, so it's only since I've pulled everything apart. Right, so last time I was out here I was having trouble with my front light, I was having trouble with my electrics altogether, when I'd wired up my front light again, which I did make a cock of that really, because I cut the wires and reconnected them to get them through the little hole at the back. And Paul very rightly pointed out afterwards when he was looking at it with me that they all had connectors on them, so I didn't need to even cut them and retape them. So I'm really annoyed at myself for that. I just went in gung-ho and did that. So I thought my wiring was dodgy, and that's why nothing would come on afterwards. I thought I'd done something wrong. Anyway, it turns out it was only the main fuse. I think I probably cut a wire when the ignition was on, because I'd got into the habit of leaving my key in the ignition, so I didn't know if it was on or off. So that's just again me being silly and naive. So now when I'm not actually testing anything, I take the key out altogether, so I'm not tempted to do that. And yeah, so it was the main fuse which we've replaced. We found out where it was, and yeah, it was broken, so I got another one, and the lights are now working, so that is such a relief. I was a bit worried about that. So we've got ignition light, and then we've got little side light. I think this is a bit, oh there you go, that's the full light, so dead chuffed about that. So today I'm just going to put this cover back on so we can see what it looks like. I am made up that it did actually work in the end. See, but now I've left the ignition on, I'm so bad. Turn the ignition off, take the key out. And this is sitting in here quite nicely, but this bolt's too long, so we'll saw that off at some point. This little screw. I think I'm just going to go around the other side to do that. Excuse me. I'm sure I'll be taking it apart again and putting it back again before we're well done. But I've also now sprayed this bracket, so I'll go and get that in a minute. Although I'm just thinking it might not fit with that thing sticking down. And then I've put this cover back on to hide all the wires. I'm just going to get that bracket and we'll see if we can fit that on. I'll be back in a minute. I said I'd be back in a minute, but this is like maybe a day or two later. I obviously got distracted or waylaid, so the bracket's here now. It's a bit like a fascia really, not a bracket. But anyway, so it's all nicely sprayed. I will maybe rub it, there's a bit of a rough bit there. I will maybe rub it down a little bit more and respray it. So yeah, so that goes in there, on there. But where the new headlight was on, there was a little bit of the stem still sticking down, so Paul's grinded that off for me, and then this fits in behind there. So that's what it's going to look like. I mean, in the old one, because it was set further back, you couldn't see any of that. So unfortunately on this bit, I mean, I could always paint that black. That might look better actually, so it's not as obvious. So that's it with the bracket on, the new headlight, and again that's a bit tidier there. Yeah, so that's how it's looking now. So in the next episode we'll put the indicators back on with the new brackets, then see how it's all looking. We'll make sure they're working and everything. See you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.